Okay, how's it, YouTube? So tonight I am making pizza, and I promised you guys a video on that garlic and herb pull-apart bread that I did, that I made last week. I showed a picture on Instagram, and I'll insert that picture here so you guys can take a look at it. It's super easy to make, so I'm just turning on the camera. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to do. This here is my my pizza dough, and I'm going to go ahead and just deflate it. I'm going to move my pan. I'm going to use a cast iron pan. You can use a regular pan if you have it, but I'm telling you, it was really good in the cast iron. So if you have cast iron, use the cast iron. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll my pizza dough out, and I'm going to aim you down here so you can see. Super easy. And all I do is I kind of shape it like a big sub roll, if you will. And I'm going to divide this into 3. So 2 is going to be for my pizza, and 1 will be for the bread. So for my pizza, what I do is I just shape it into a ball, and I'll put that off to the side. This one off to the side. And now I'm left with 1/3 of this. Okay. Now instead of rolling it into a ball, I kind of shape it like a loaf almost. And then instead of a knife, I like to use my dough cutter here. It's a Betty Crocker. Got it at Bed Bath & Beyond. It's only a couple bucks. So here I'm just going to divide it in half. And I'm just going to ever so lightly. Now, what's great about the pull-apart bread is that it does not have to be perfect. Odd shapes are wonderful. I'm just going to keep dividing this up here. And then I just cut it up until I have little bits here and there of dough here. No rhyme or reason. I literally just kind of made this on a whim when I was making pizza, because I had extra pizza dough and I didn't know what to do with it. So I decided to just make a pull-apart bread, and it turned out phenomenal. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to continue to just cut these pieces up. Kind of have to keep them away from each other because they'll grow back together. And when I'm all done and on the next step, I will bring you back. Okay, now that my bread is all cut up into little pieces, we have to make the butter, the little herb butter that we use. So what I do is use a stick of butter. Mine's usually always cold because it's always in the fridge, but if you have butter laying out or butter that you have to use up, go ahead and just chop it up. You can put it in a saucepan if you want, or you can microwave it. That's what I'm going to do, is just throw it in the microwave. And I'm just going to go ahead and melt this up. It'll probably take about a minute, and when it's done, I'll bring you back. Alright, so then once it's all melted here, aim you down. I take just one of these silicone brushes. I bought these cheap little ones. I think they were like $1 or $2 at Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm just going to go ahead and stir this around and melt the rest of that butter. And then what I do is I add a bit of oil to it. I would say probably 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And go ahead and stir that around. And then we're going to add our seasonings. Now I just added, to mine, I added some parsley. And I don't know, I'm really bad at measuring. I eyeball everything, but maybe a teaspoon. Maybe a half a teaspoon of granulated garlic. And about maybe a half a teaspoon of sweet leaf basil. And if you want a little sprinkling of Italian seasoning, and then go ahead and just mix that all around. And now you have your garlic herb butter. So I'm going to take you back to the kitchen island, and we're going to get this stuff in the cast iron pan. Alright, so now I have my cast iron pan, and you can use Crisco, you can use lard. I went ahead and I coated my pan with shortening. Like I said, you can use lard. And there's a good coating all the way on the sides too, because your bread will rise. And then I went ahead and I take my little dough balls here, which are right there, as you can see, and you can shape them if you want. I don't shape them, I just kind of throw them in. I put them around the edges first. If they grow back together, just kind of pull them apart. And then work my way to the inside. Now I've made this before in a bread pan, which turned out pretty good, but you know, when you do it in a bread pan, the inside is really soft, and you really have to flavor the dough because it won't ever get coated with the butter. So that, it was okay. I just, you know, nobody loved it. But doing it this method and in the cast iron, and where it's all one layer, is just amazing. The kids had their friends over the night I made it, and they loved it as well. So it's definitely a winner. So, you know, if you wanted to make a bigger batch, you could. I just use whatever. This is the leftover dough that I won't be using for a pizza. So, and it, like I said, it will rise once it gets in the oven a bit. So that is it. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my garlic herb butter here, and I'm going to go ahead and just brush it on each piece. We're going to use about half of this mixture, and then when it comes out of the oven, we're going to use the other half and coat it again. Now you can use whatever seasonings you like. You don't have to do it my way, that is for sure. So, and you can leave something out. If you don't like basil, don't add basil. You know, play around with it. So, make sure each piece is well coated. And there you have it. Now what I do is I like to sit this on top of my warm oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. The heat from the oven will help it rise a little bit. Last time I did it while my pizza's baked. This time I'm going to put it in before my pizzas, that way everybody can have it as, you know, an appetizer first. and then the pizzas after. So I'm just going to go ahead, set this on the stovetop for about 10 minutes, let it rise a little bit, and then I'm going to bake this in a 450-degree oven for 20 minutes. And then when it comes out, I will be back and I'll show you the last steps. Okay guys, so the timer is all off and it's been 20 minutes. And I'll pull this bread right from the oven. I'm going to go ahead and slip my pizzas in so those can bake. And set my timer for 10 minutes, then they'll get the shelves, they'll get their shelves switched, and then they'll bake another 10 minutes. So those will be 20 minutes too. Alright, so here's our bread. And I'm going to go ahead and, this is the rest of our herb garlic butter. And I'm going to go ahead and just brush the rest of that on. Let me see if I can't turn on under counter light. That helps a little bit. Now what's so great about cooking it in the cast iron is, especially if you put that Crisco or lard underneath, not only doesn't it stick, you see how easy these are, but the bottoms are a little crunchy, and it's just so good. I'm going to make sure that each one well coated. Now your baking time might vary. Last time they weren't this brown, but I also let them sit out a little bit longer because Mina was crying and things got a little hectic here. So but just keep an eye on them, and if you like them a little less brown, don't brown them as much. Now once I'm done, I'm going to zoom in here so you can see that a little bit better. Once I am done putting that on, I'm going to grab some Parmesan cheese here. And I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle that on. And there you have it. There is the garlic herb pull apart bread. I'm going to shut this big light off, see if you can see that a little bit better. There you have it. And they come off really easy. They're nice and golden brown and a little crispy. And these are good just like this, but I went ahead and I make my own pizza sauce, and this time I tried using fresh garlic and chopped onions. So this pizza sauce is a little chunky, so I'm going to warm that up, and the kids can dip it in sauce if they want. You can dip it in olive oil with a little salt and pepper if you want, but really sorry, my furnace just went out. Now you can probably hear me better. But really, they're just so good by themselves. Matt, do you want to come taste test this? So everyone can see your opinion. See how they pull apart? Now, if you make a bigger one, I mean, you can really pack these in. These were spaced out. Like I said, this was just leftover dough, but if you really wanted to make this for a party, I mean, you could really pack it in and make it much more of a, you know.
What kind of video is
like
this
last time?
Because I'm shirtless.
You're always shirtless. Last time, I think I had more because we did have to pull them apart more, didn't we?
Yeah.
This time they're a little bit more, I'm going to get this off of here. They're a little bit more separated, but...
Mmm.
Good?
Really good. It got a nice soft, chewy consistency to them, and but they're really crunchy and brown. I mean, it's got a nice crunch from the bottom and crispiness on the top.
Good?
Chewy in the middle. Buttery and garlicky and really flavorful.
Nice. All right, so there you have it. That's how easy it is, guys. If you don't make your own...
Bam! Another.
If you don't make your own pizza dough, first off, it's really easy. Give it a try. But if you're like, no way, that is not for me, some pizza places will actually sell you their pizza dough, so you can always buy it. Or, I believe they sell it at the grocery store in the refrigerated section, so you could buy it. And so you can still make this and enjoy it. But it is really, really good, and it is a real winner amongst the kids. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. This is super easy, and it's a great appetizer if you're having people over. It's really hot, but I'll have to try one. So good. So good. Alright, if you guys give this a try, comment down below, let me know. And yeah, until next time, guys, we'll see ya.